The Traits and More Perks mod, as the name suggests, adds a number of new perks and traits to Fallout 4. For the unaware, traits are special character features that were present in Fallout 1, 2, and New Vegas, but are absent from Fallout 3 and 4. Traits are essentially special character features that add a great advantage and a great disadvantage to your character. As you can see, all of the mod's added content is fully supported in the Pip-Boy's interface. For an example of traits, take a look at the Memento Mori trait, which allows the player to gain experience at double the normal rate in exchange for increased vulnerability to damage and decreased healing from all healing sources. Similarly, the Gifted trait adds a +2 bonus permanently to all special stats, but halves the rate of experience gained. Traits can be added to both a new game and an existing game, and so can perks. Before we take a look at the new perks, let's take a look at how traits are implemented. For an existing save game, traits can be added by first finding any chemistry station in the wasteland.
I hope this has something to do with
Access the chemistry station, and then scroll down to the new Traits section. This will allow you to craft a custom holotape. The holotape can be found at the bottom of your Pip-Boy's Miscellaneous section. Load the tape, and you'll access a new custom menu. The first option briefly explains traits, if you can call that briefly, and the rest of the options allow you to add traits to your character at your discretion. Each screen displays a description of what the trait does and gives you a choice as to whether or not you wish to add it to your character. If you're dissatisfied with how a trait is working out for your character, the option at the bottom allows you to remove all traits from your character at any time. For an example, let's add the Gifted trait to our character. We now simply exit the menu, and we can check to see that it works by going to the Perks section of our Pip-Boy. To help distinguish traits from perks, each trait is preceded by the word trait in brackets. And voila! A trait has been added to our character, and our special stats have been raised. But let's say we don't like the decrease to experience gained. We can simply go back to the custom menu and remove all traits. Now, the Gifted trait is no longer in our Pip-Boy, but likewise, we've lost the benefit to our special stats. This is how you add traits to an existing save game. For a new game, adding traits is even simpler. After assigning stats with the Vault-Tec rep, a message appears informing the player that a traits terminal has been activated in the bedroom of Sanctuary Hills. Please note that this terminal does not appear until you've talked to the Vault-Tec rep, so as to prevent players from messing up their stats with traits before they've even been assigned. We'll skip through this dialogue to show the traits terminal in action. This terminal is functionally identical to the one you can access through the holotape you can make for your Pip-Boy, but this is how you add traits to a new game. We don't actually have a Pip-Boy right now to make sure these have been added, but they have. Please note that there's another opportunity to add traits to your character just before leaving Vault 111, but I think that's enough about traits for now. Instead, let's take a look at how the mod adds perks, and how they are implemented. To add perks to your character, find any chemistry station in the wasteland, and scroll down to the new Perks category. Now, Please note that because of Fallout 4's Perk chart window that depicts all of the Vault Boy cartoons in an animated way, that precludes new perks from being added to the game directly. Instead, the mod adds perks via custom items that you craft at a chemistry station in exchange for rare chems. For the sake of demonstration, I've used the debug console to add several of these new chems to my inventory. But rest assured, these are not nearly as common in the base game, like Daddio or Calmex. Further, note that according to this description, each perk added by the mod has its own requirements, just like perks in the base game. They may require you to be at a certain level, or have your special attributes at a certain rank. Let's add a few perks to our character that we both qualify for and do not qualify for, to see how they work. The perk injector items can be found at the bottom of your Pip-Boy's Aid tab. We meet the qualification for this one, which is simply a level requirement. We activate it, and we can find it in our perk menu. However, we do not meet the requirements for this perk, and when we activate it, a message informs us that we do not meet the requirements and reminds us to check the description. However, the chems that we spent to make that perk injector are not wasted, because the script re-adds another copy of that perk injector to our inventory. We can keep doing this again and again if we want, but nothing will change until we meet the requirements for the perk, either by leveling up or whatever we need to meet it. The mod adds many more traits than it does perks, but there are quite a few perks to be found, and perk trees that require previous ranks of perks. The confirmed bachelor perk, which we did not meet the requirement for, goes all the way up to 3 ranks, and so on and so forth. That's a basic overview of all the features to be found in the Traits and More Perks mod. Thank you for your kind attention, and have fun.